loves, welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are doing well. So today's video we are going to be creating a sim. She is going to have the kind of siren, like evil, mischievous look to her, but she is not going to be a fairy just yet. So this sim we will be using in an Enchanted by Nature mini-series. So I did just create a fairy sim for the pack release. I just kind of wanted to scratch the surface of create a sim item. I am going to be working on the furnishing of her home and a little bit of gameplay as well, but that video we are not going to dive too deep into it. It's just kind of get familiar with the pack and just I was super excited, so I just wanted to play around with it just a little bit before we actually dive into it. So today we are going to be making a sim. She is going to turn into a fairy through gameplay, not create a sim. So it's going to be a lot of fun seeing the process of going from sim to a fairy. I'm really intrigued, and we're going to read a little bit about that in just a minute with some articles, some cross-pack compatibilities and everything like that. But the mini-series is going to be super exciting, most likely 5 or a little bit under 10 episodes, so I'm really excited for that. We will be diving deeper into gameplay and everything like that, so really looking forward to that. If you are just as excited as I am, go ahead and join the Nymph family. In this mini-series, we are going to dive into the disruptive and mischievous nature of the fairies. The fairy that I just did create a sim with you guys, she is a nice fairy, and we will see in gameplay very soon that she loves her plants, she loves helping other fairies and other sims and everything like that. She's just a very kind fairy. She's one of the good ones. But in this mini-series, we are going to be diving deeper into, like I said, the mischievous and the more evil side of fairies. So I'm super excited. Let's go ahead and read some of the things that fairies include. Alrighty, so we're going to read a little bit about the cross-compatibility between the fairies and every other pack if you do have it. Fairies and plant sims. Fun fact, plant sims were created by Spruce Almighty. Plant sims and fairies are kindred spirits in their own way. A plant sim can request water healing from a fairy sim, which causes a small column of rain to fall on the plant sim, completely filling their water need. Fairies and vampires. So I love vampires, oh my goodness. Fairies consider vampire powers to be improper dark magic and tend to start relationships with them on the wrong foot, even going as far to argue with them about it. They can go so far as choosing to absorb vampirism, which completely cures a vampire, reverting them back to a regular sim. Similar to plant sims, fairies provide support to mermaids via water healing that fills their water need. Mermaid sims may even occasionally ring up your fairy asking to drop by for a healing visit. And then we have fairies and spellcasters. When it comes to using magic, fairies are pretty elitist. Similar to their disdain for vampires, fairy sims find the use of magic by spellcasters to be unnatural. While fairies can't absorb a spellcaster's abilities like they can with vampires, they will still start a relationship in a negative way. Fairies and werewolves. To a fairy, a werewolf is a more natural being, and thus they hold no prejudice against them. In fact, fairies can help raging werewolves with their Soothe the Beast ability, completely draining a werewolf's fury and reverting them back to sim form. Like mermaids, a werewolf may ask your fairy sim if they can visit to calm their rage. So I'm very happy about this specific one because I don't play with werewolves a lot. I actually find them quite annoying in The Sims 4, so maybe this will get me interested in playing or interacting with the werewolves a lot more. And then my favorite, fairies and animals. There are other creatures in the world of The Sims 4, and like beastly werewolves, fairies have an affinity towards them. They can use their abilities to raise the needs of cats, dogs, horses, cows, llamas, and chickens. Plus, cats and dogs can be healed of illnesses. Fairy veterinarians, anyone? That's really cool. That would be really fun. So the other article we have is just introducing fairies and everything like that. So I figured we could just read this a little bit. Fairies have landed in The Sims 4 and were shimmering with excitement. From the early stages of development to their arrival in Innisgreen, fairies have been a delight to create. So here is where we find out how to become a fairy sim. To embark on the fairy journey, Sims must first seek help of Mother Nature. This powerful being has an unbreakable bond with fairies, giving them their magical abilities from the water of her moon drop springs. But that's only just the beginning of their adventure. A wide array of new abilities that that focus on things like nature, emotion, and manipulation. Unlike the fairies in The Sims 3, fairies are not only tricksters, but emotional beings that have a unique new emotional force to survive, which can be gained from various sources, including bottled emotion potions and absorbing the emotions of other Sims. For example, a fairy could use their ability to influence a Sim's emotion, then bottle up said emotion and store it for a later date. This leads us to different fairy stories' aspiration, which gives fairies the option to show off their sparkle in one of two ways. The harmonious fairy path is for fairies with nurturing souls, who prefer to grow dreamlike gardens and awaken gnomes with daily tasks. So that is going to be the life form we choose for the sim we just created, the really whimsical, really good plant lover sim. But in this mini series, we're going to be doing the discordant fairy path. So that is for playful fairies who would rather stir up just a little bit of mischief, manipulating moods, and causing curious ailments. So I'm super excited about that. Non-fairy sims can also sprinkle a little bit of fun into their everyday lives with fairy dust. They can enchant plants to take care of their flora automatically, or even awaken gnomes to assist with household chores. Home, sweet, and magical home. Once fairies have settled into Innisgreen to sow wonder or cultivate chaos, they'll need a home to rest their wings. So now fairies will scale down to a pocket-sized version of themselves to enter their fairy tiny home. We didn't just wing it. There are many ways one can customize their fairy look, from ear shape to skin tone, but one of the characteristics we like to dive in is their wings. So we fully created animated wings to reflect gameplay personality, resulting in more believable wing motion, improved coordination between wings and body during locomotion, support for various walk styles, emotional pairing, different wing motion. So we've seen a lot of that in Create-A-Sim. So we've seen all of the wing types. It was a lot of fun. The color aspect, so you can, customize them as much as you want. And we will be seeing in gameplay very soon just how the wings come into play during gameplay and just how they move, how they look, and they are just so beautiful. Fairy customizations also include 9 new skin tones, 18 new eye colors, 3 pointed ears, 3 nose shapes, 2 sets of teeth, glowing tattoos that illuminate at night, and face paint and accessories. Sure, fairies are full of magical powers, but for simmers, the magic is in the making. And then we also have new head decoration accessories. Featured under hats offers a trove of fun. New headwear options allowing you to experiment with horns, antlers, headbands, and a leafy diadem and a flower crown inspired by fairies, and living in nature gameplay. So we also seen those, and they were just so pretty. Like, it was so much fun to look at all of the Create-A-Sim items. I had so much fun. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with Create-A-Sim, and I will see you next time. Bye, nymphs!